Now, welcome to the third module of the demand and supply series. Today we're going to look at when the government intervenes, what are the reasons for intervening and what are the impacts of such intervention on consumers and producers. We start first with trying to understand taxes. Now, what are taxes? Taxes are basically what the government collects from individuals and corporations. And broadly speaking, we can classify taxes either as direct taxes and indirect taxes. What are the differences between direct taxes and indirect taxes? Now, direct taxes are directly collected from the individual or from corporations. Like, for example, personal income taxes are directly collected from the individual, and corporate income taxes are collected by the government from the corporations. Whereas indirect taxes, the government involves an intermediary, aka a third party, in the collection of such taxes. Like, for example, goods and services tax would be an example of an indirect tax because the government doesn't collect the GST from you. The government actually collects the GST from the producers who collects it from you. So the producers in this case, they are an intermediary of collection of indirect taxes. Right, there are two primary reasons why the government will want to actually collect taxes. The one very obvious reason is that the government needs money to run on a daily basis. They need to pay police officers, they need to pay the military, they need to pay teachers, they need to pay for the provision of public and marine goods, building roads, building schools, building hospitals, and the general running of the government. So they need to collect taxes to cover these expenditures. Another reason why the government may impose a tax is to discourage the consumption of specific goods that are what the government usually deem to be socially undesirable and yet overconsumed. And these goods, we usually categorize them as demerit goods like cigarettes, alcohol, gambling. Now, when the government actually impose a tax, how would it affect consumers or producers? Now, we look at this diagram over here. When the government imposes a tax, you can see here the government imposes a tax that's equivalent to this amount. When we look at this tax, we are talking about an indirect tax where the government imposes a tax on the producer. Now, the producer now facing this tax will experience an increase in cost production and cuts back on production, and supply will fall from S1 to S2. As supply falls from S1 to S2, you can see that your prices go up from P1 to P2. Now, consumers here will now feel the pinch because they will have to pay a higher price. And the diagram that you saw just now is actually illustrating what we call specific tax. What is a specific tax? Now, a specific tax is where the distance between the two supply curve is always the same. Therefore, we have a parallel shift. Why? Because a specific tax is a tax of a specific value. Say, for example, if the tax is $5, it's $5 throughout all prices and quantity, so it remains the same for all prices and quantities of the goods. So you can see that there is a $5 difference between the two supply curve no matter what. Right, what exactly is an ad valorem tax? An ad valorem tax, on the other hand, will result in a pivoted shift of the supply curve. Now, I don't have a pivoted shift in the supply curve, but you can look at our notes. Okay, now pivoted shift will look something like that. So you have a supply curve, it will shift something like that. So if you follow my mouse cursor, it will shift something like that. So you can see that if the supply shift have a pivoted shift, the distance between the two supply curve will be different. An example of an ad valorem tax would be like GST. Okay, ad valorem tax is on a percentage basis. Say, for example, if your ad valorem tax is a 3% GST tax, then the 3% GST tax for $1 good will be 3 cents, $10 good will be 30 cents, and $100 good will be $3. So you can see that your tax, the amount of tax, it goes up as the price goes up. It goes up from 3 cents to 30 cents to $3 and etc. So your value of tax will change. That's why the distance between the two supply curve will change as well as your prices go up.